Hello everyone and welcome to Isms by Josie. Today we're going to do a cat design inspired by my terrifying furry friend Dexter. We're going to start off by working on my infill and rebalanced French tip nails layered with a foundation gel. Then I'm going to be taking my Greyfitti by Sally Hanson and putting 2 coats on my middle finger. We're going to be applying a thin layer so that we don't thicken up the nail. This nail polish tends to dry quick and leave brush strokes behind, so you want to work fast with it. Then I'm going to take my Black Shadow Gelish Gel Polish, and we're going to be applying this to the undersides of all my fingernails. And this nail polish is pretty good for coverage. As you can see, it's a very jet black and it goes on very smoothly. We're now applying the second coat of the Greyfitti. Now I'm going to be taking my Mellow Yellow Extreme Wear nail polish by Sally Hanson and applying this onto my index and ring finger. We'll be applying 2 coats of this, and again, each layer will be as thin as possible. These 2 colors here that we are applying will be our backdrop. So at first it may seem a little bit cartoony, but the end result is going to blend into a more realistic design. So the ring finger and the pointer finger will become the eyes, the middle finger will become the nose, and the thumb and the pinky will just be the offset furry sides of this cat design. When applying the black nail polish underneath, definitely wipe the excess off the sides if they creep up on the yellow color or the gray color. It doesn't have to be perfect because we'll be covering most of the nail with black anyway, but just so that there's no bumpy lines in your coats is why we'll be wiping off the excess if it does happen. After we're done applying the 2 coats for these 3 nails, we'll now be taking the Black Shadow Gel Polish, it's my timer, and applying it to the pinky and thumbnails. And if you haven't noticed, the yellow and the grays are just regular nail polish, so they won't need to cure under a lamp. It does take time, but again, like I said, it dries pretty fast, and especially if you apply it very thinly. And the Black Shadow Gel Polish is gel polish, so we'll be curing these under a lamp. I love this color on my nail just as it is. The coverage is so good and it's just so bold looking. And I really only applied 1 coat of this. I mean, that's really all you need. Now I'm taking the same Black Shadow Gel Polish and I'm taking my detail brush, and now I'm going to be drawing the eyeballs on my ring and pointer finger. And this is pretty tedious, especially if you're using your less dominant hand. So I had sped up the time on this, but just take your time as long as it takes just to get the lines not shaky and perfect. What I did on my ring finger, um, which is the first design, so you know, first pancake, it doesn't always come out the way you want it. I did take some nail cleanser and my brush and tried to clean up some of the black shadow out of this yellow void. But you do want to be careful with it if you're using regular nail polish, because it'll start smearing and messing it up. So you'll see that in a bit later. But it's not to worry because, you know, these will be the cat eyes and we're going to be putting some dimension to it. So, like I said, the yellow will be the background of our eyes, and I'll be layering it with other types of polish to create a more realistic cat eye look. Be curing this and then starting on the index finger and doing the same thing. This is probably just as tedious, not so much with, you know, the technique, because by the first finger, I think you figure out what you can do, what you can't do, what you shouldn't do. And then this time it's just trying to match it so that the eyes look the same, not only by shape, but, or not only by size, but the shape as well. Uh, if you end up looking closely, you could see the differences between the two eyes. But you know, it's just human error, and it's not a bad error. It's just nerve-wracking to try to get things to look the same. You could go ahead and maybe use like a tape and cut out similar shapes and just apply it onto your nail and polish the whole thing and then remove the tape afterwards if you want to be super perfect. But you know, we're going to be covering the black areas with a furry looking sugar powder anyway, so it doesn't have to be super perfect. So now I'm going to do the same technique, but making the nose portion of this cat design. And I had my black cat Dexter to reference his nose. So that was helpful. Right now it's looking more like a Batman design, I think. So as you can see, like we've put layers upon layers on each nail, so it's good to, you know, remove as much excess of your nail polish as possible so that it doesn't end up looking super thick at the end. And carefully applying it to not overflood the cuticle. if that does happen, you can just take a brush with some nail cleanser and just wipe it off. Now I'm making the nostrils. And we'll be putting black rhinestones on this gray area. I just wanted to add some depth for the in-between because, of course, you know, the rhinestones won't fully cover every part of the nail surface. So I will end up, you know, putting some black streaks in this gray area just to give it some extra depth. Now I'm taking my gold glitter Shany striper nail polish. I'll put the description for that below. And I'm just putting this on the corners of the eyes. This is going to add some sparkle to the irises of these cat eyes. So this is what I'm talking about, just adding dimension to things, because the next layer we'll put on this is the Born Pretty magnetic cat eye gel. So these kind of come translucent once you use the magnet to push it around. So the layer of yellow and the sparkle of the gold will, you know, come through a little bit, so you'll be able to see all of that. But I'm just taking a dab and putting it on the eye area, and then taking my detail brush to wipe it to fill the yellow areas. You also want to try to go thin on this nail polish so that all the layers can show through and it's not so thick to where you won't be able to see the sheen of yellow and the little sparkles of gold. So now I'm using my magnet to just give the gemstone effect. That's what we're going to be doing for these eyes today. And that's just running the magnet along the edges, just enough to push the metallics to the center of the eye, and that gives it the gemstone effect. I did use this technique for my Aurora Borealis nails nail video, if you want to reference that back. Here you can see what that does, just running it along the edges. The gemstone effect will give it that nice round iris dimension look to it. And of course, to set it, we have to cure it. Next, I'm going to be taking my Shany nail polish, and I am putting a thin layer on my thumb and pinky nails. And I'm going to be taking this Black Sugar by Born Pretty that I think I'm going to leave the link in the description below. And we're just going to what is that, like flick the powder on there. I'm taking my black Shany striper, and I'm just making the pupils for each eye. So now, you know, you can start seeing that it's progressing well as a cat eye. Now the other eye. And then I'm going to be applying the Shany again on the pointer and ring fingers, and doing the same black sugar powder on it. Right now I'm just taking my detail brush and getting around the edges You don't have to come close directly to it. You can just get just close, just in case you don't overflood the sugar powder on the eye. But yeah, this technique here will give it like a nice furry look, as opposed to just having that black lacquer shiny looking look. Or you can do a matte if you wanted, but I think this glitter gives it a little rough texture to it. Now I'm taking these black rhinestones, any will work, and taking my Gummy Jelly by Nail Couture, taking a dab of this, and I'll be applying it on the nose area. As you can see, like I said, I put some just black streaks in it to create some depth for when, I mean, this is all if you look closely at your nails, but if you look closely at it, you'll see some gray, some black, the rhinestones, and giving it a more intense look for the little nubby nose that Dexter has. He's so cute. He's 6 years old, and I've had him for 6 years, but he is pretty amazing. He does silly things. He acts more like a dog than a cat, and he does have some videos posted. He also has his own Facebook page that he puts random cat things sometimes. Obviously, that's me doing that, so it's funny I'm talking like he is doing that stuff. So I'm just taking my tool thing here and applying the black rhinestones. And I'm just doing this to give it some texture. I thought about just leaving plain nail polish, but it didn't look right. So now I'm taking and top it off clear gel polish by Gelish, and I'll be applying these over the eyes. You want to be liberal with this so that you can add some height to the eye, making it look a little bit more bulbous, I guess. This also adds some shine to it. Last, I'm using my cuticle oil by Gelish, applying to each nail that will be rubbing in. I actually didn't use nail cleanser as much for this set. I only used it for the eyes. This is the end result. My cat design. It's so perfect. I love it. The eyes are just insane. Now I'm going to be showing a close-up of the eyes so you can see everything. So you'll be able to see the yellow, and you can see a little bit of that sparkle. It's beautiful. Well, there you have it. My cat design. Thank you for watching Isms by Josie. Please like and subscribe for future videos. This was so much fun, and I hope you liked it. Thanks again. Bye.